Hello to my Capricorn. Somebody said that the sound went out, which is strange. Okay, I thought I listened back to it, so it may have gone out for a few seconds and then come back. But anyway, this is a bonus video for you all. The moon is in Aquarius. You absolutely want to listen to how your body feels, not just because the moon is in Aquarius. The moon moved from your sign into Aquarius, and it's kind of sort of making its way down your body from your crown chakra all the way down to your root chakra and then back up, right? So you'll kind of know when your water is low, when your tide is low, like when you're hangry, hungry slash angry, like when your spirit is getting deep, you're spiritually, becoming empty, and you need a refill, right? But you want to refill the right way, refill in with your moon sign, which is going to set you apart from every other Capricorn on the planet, right? Refill with your moon sign. Right. So we're talking to your 10th house. 10th house. 10th house is all about your career, your life goals, your achievement, public image, father figure, or masculine energy, um, social status, and fame. So I'm not just talking to your sun sign is Capricorn. I want to make this crystal clear because sometimes people are like, oh, is this a Capricorn reading? Yes. Yes, it's a Capricorn. It's from Aries all the way down to Pisces, but I'm speaking to your 10th house in these particular areas. 10th house is about your career, your life goals, your achievement, your public image, the father or masculine aspect of your life, or like the men in your life, your social status, and your fame, right? So if this is what you're here for, like if I was talking about like personal resources, money habits, possessions, financial security, self-worth, income, then I'll be speaking to your second house, and Taurus rules your second house. So, not trying to confuse anybody, especially if you're new to reading cards. I know you're probably reading a book and it says do this, and this is how you're supposed to read cards: 2, 3 card spread, 9 card spread, 12 card spread, whatever. But as somebody is getting more and more into learning how to read cards, you'll see how whatever your gifts are, how source gets messages through to you. Um, So during a moon in Aquarius, the energy is perfect for releasing outdated beliefs. This would be a great time to talk about outdated beliefs, like there's only one way to read cards if you're reading cards, because of so many people have so many gifts that are being uncovered. And so you're thinking more in terms of future, right? The future, right? You're also detaching from emotional baggage and embracing visionary change. So Aquarius rules innovation, freedom, and higher thinking, while the waning phase encourages letting go and reflection, right? So in those areas of your 10th house, right, which Capricorn rules 10th house, I'm talking to you wherever. I'm talking to your 10th house. Find out where your sign is in your 10th house. My community wants me to thrive, right? So when you think in terms of your North Node or your 10th house, you only want to be in, you speaking to your future, okay? You're speaking to your future. You're saying, my community wants me to thrive. You're putting it out there in the universe right now. I don't want to be around anybody who wants me in survival mode. My community wants me to thrive. That's in your personal and your professional life. So if I'm famous, let me just break this down. If I'm famous for anything, my community wants me to thrive. If my social status changes, okay, let's say I go from 100 subscribers to 1 million subscribers, my community still wants me to thrive. Okay, I hope this is clear to somebody. Let's say if um I'm learning how to balance out my masculine to my feminine energy. I'm balanced out. So I need to take some time to process my thoughts. And I take a masculine action, which is divine masculine action, which is, can you give me some time to think about that's taking some kind of action? Can you give me some time to think about it, to pray about it first, and I'll get back to you? That would be divine masculine action, right? Toxic masculine action would be going off like, give me some time. You just pushing. I'm feeling my back is pushing against the wall, right? That'd be kind of toxic, right? But divine masculine energy is like, I need some time to think about that. I'll get back to you on that. Give somebody some dates or time or whatever. The same thing you would expect, right? I guess. And then also in terms of your career, no matter where your career takes you, whether you are the president or CEO of a major corporation or company, guess what? People want you to thrive, right? And wherever you are, or you decide, hey, I just want to be, I'm retired. I just want to, go volunteer somewhere or bag groceries somewhere. Hey, I ain't thinking about that no more. I don't care about title, position, whatever people think, whatever, let whoever think whatever, no matter what. Guess what? My community wants me to thrive. Y'all get the point, what I'm saying? Okay, let's get into your reading. No matter where you are, you want to be in any community that wants you to thrive. They don't care about how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, where you live. They want you to thrive, just like you want them to thrive. So that's the question. First question: what outdated belief or mental pattern are you ready to ready to release? You're not trying to keep up with anybody. None of that. 901, you're turning a page. So now is the time to begin again. A chapter has closed in your life. Reinventing yourself is not easy, but it is necessary. Your angel's message now is to embrace that reality and combine it with confidence that you are ready to move ahead. Draw another card with this intention of receiving angelic guidance on what is to come. So something that was created is coming to a close, an end. You can begin something. So you're renewing a love. Okay. A relationship needs attention. Okay. So 301 may be of significance to somebody, but angels are signaling that an important relationship in your life needs renewal and attention. So people can often hurt the ones they love the most, and you are being called to recognize that. Who in your life could use a little tender, loving care? Think of one way you can show a person that they are still as special to you as they were the day you met them. So whoever that is. So something is ending. You had a feeling like something was ending that was created. And so you're renewing some kind of love. So I don't know who is in this 301. That could be an area code for somebody. It could be a house number for somebody. It could be somebody you talk to that felt that you felt like a fool because you were so distracted by something, and now you're embarking on this brand new journey, and you maybe come back saying, okay, well, I felt like a fool. I had so many distractions around me. I didn't know what the heck, what kind of spell I was under. But anyway, your community wants you to thrive. Speak it into existence. Somebody is speaking to their entire future. My community wants me to thrive, period. That's it. My community wants me to thrive. Somebody gonna be saying that every single day. My community wants me to thrive. Because if it doesn't, source is going to expose it. So the moon being in Aquarius can affect um, your calves, your ankles, your shin, your Achilles. That can mean that your tide is low, your water is low, right? I mean, you could be in somebody, if you don't know what your moon sign is and don't know how to pour into yourself properly, guess what? You can start the unhealthy eating, drinking too much caffeine. That's going to further um, dehydrate you, or just being in any spaces where people are dehydrating your spirit. You just feel drained, right? So, yeah. So, until Monday the 16th, it could affect your calves, your shin, your Achilles. And then on Tuesday, the 17th of June, and Wednesday, which is the last quarter of this cycle, where we had a strawberry moon, fruits of your labor, it could affect your feet, your toes, and your pineal gland. In other words, your feet, your toes, you could be hitting cramps in something because you feel dehydrated because somebody's still not listening. So you don't want to be driving down the street somewhere and your toes cramp up or your feet cramp up, or you're lying in bed and all of a sudden you get your toes be stretched out like that, because you cramped up because somebody is not watering themselves properly. That's your moon sign. Let's get into your reading. Yeah, this cycle actually ends on Tuesday, June the 24th. And this reading is for the 15th through the 22nd of June. So, which kind of pushes us into that new moon phase. We're going to get focused on this, right? So, yeah, what outdated beliefs or mental patterns is Capricorn ready to release? And again, I'm speaking to your 11th house, so it doesn't really matter. If you're a Capricorn, whatever, we're talking about your 10th house. You just happen to rule 10th house. So, in those areas, your community, no matter what, wants you to thrive. And if they don't, it's not the community that you spoke into existence. So that's another indicator in the physical form. It doesn't matter if it's family members, People on your job, people who supported you once, they don't want you to thrive. You got big money coming across your path. So somebody's financial situation is about to change. Guess what? No matter where you are, your community wants you to thrive. Okay? If they don't, and y'all sitting around like, oh, I can't believe. Okay, better believe it the first time. Somebody has been in enough, by the time you get to 9, you've been in enough situations where you've been in spaces that when things change for you in terms of fame, in terms of your career, in terms of your life goals and your achievements, that people have switched up on you. At this stage, so somebody should be delivered from all of that. We're talking about your 10th house. You're talking about getting to your north node. That's showing you right there. Everybody can't go where you're trying to go. Somebody's my financial situation is about to change drastically. Everybody can't go where you're trying to go. You build strong. You have an innate spiritual understanding of something. Somebody is incredibly patient. So everybody just can't go where you're going. And that's okay. Here's the Emperor card. You're going to be ending something because everybody can't go where you're going. Your status is about to change. People are going to say stuff. It's going to make some people mad, tyrannical, they upset, they frustrated. Okay. But you know your worth and you know your value. That is something that you have inherited. So somebody has known their whole life that they belong in certain spaces. And that's where your confidence is. Yeah. Somebody don't deserve to be talked down to in your personal or your professional life. That's what's outdated. That is outdated. Outdated, outdated. You belong in every space, so plant your feet in. If people can't see your worth and your value, you need to see it. About face, out the door. You're going where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. So something is coming to an end. Talking to 10th house in terms of your career, your life goals, your public image, your, you know, social status, your fame. So, and if I didn't say Happy Father's Day to everybody, Happy Father's Day. I know I mentioned it in the previous reading, but I'm saying it here just because some people are adding messages that they can't hear the whole message. So, but Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hopefully, you all are being celebrated. Somebody just learning how to. What you have in common with people is that when you know your worth and your value in your personal and your professional life, you're not sticking around too long. You don't care who they are. You really don't. You don't really care who people are. You just not. You ain't hanging around too long. If people are being shady towards you or trying to make you pay for being in spaces, trying to make you pay extra money when everybody else is getting a discount, or you feel like you walk into certain establishments, people don't want you to be there. Hey, turn around and walk out. Even in certain family settings, you almost like you pay. You got to pay to be around certain family members. Turn around. Don't even go. Don't accept the invitation. That's what Source is trying to tell you. That's all that stuff is outdated. Go where you appreciate it, not where you tolerate it. Your worth is about to change significantly. Those same energy, because right now you're on the inside of your vault. You're on the inside of your vault door. You're on the inside of your vault door. And you're leaving all that other mess behind. All that other mess you are leaving behind of not knowing your worth and knowing your value. You're a very responsible person. The bullying is going to end. Something is changing. People being shady behind. They can be shady all day long behind your back, but in the physical realm, oh, that's ending. All of that is ending. Yeah, you're about to expand. That's what you've been talking about the whole time. Somebody's been talking about expansion. You want to expand your social circle. You want to expand your vocabulary, your knowledge. Something has ended. Something has ended where the community that Source is putting you in, they all want to see you thrive. Every last one of them. They don't see you as a threat in any way, shape, form. It's not hurting them. They know their worth. They know their worth and their value. You stepping on the scene is not going to affect not one thing. Matter of fact, people want you in your north node because it actually adds value to your social circle, your group of energies. You knowing your worth and your value actually adds to people's. That's why I keep trying to tell people nobody has any competition. Source created you in Source's likeness and image. So when people talk about you behind your back, Source said somebody learned how to just sail on quietly, just move on. Something about your energy gives off rich guy, rich woman. See, before I even pull this card, something about your energy gives off loner, like you just rich. Like something about your somebody has because somebody has traveled, somebody has been here before, like that wise little kid that be following their grandparents around, acting like your back hurt at 2 years old, saying sayings that your the elders in your family be saying. You just arrived here on Earth a couple of years ago when you was a kid. Like I said, somebody was in between. Like somebody knew their worth and their value since they were a kid. Look at the dog even smiling at you like, you've been here before, haven't you? But we're not gonna tell anybody. But anyway, so now somebody is just recognizing that they're just a loner. Somebody's just kind of a loner. It's like you know your worth and your value. And source is going to show you people who don't know their worth and their value. But something about somebody has always been, you traveled back here on this planet because you came through the womb knowing your worth and knowing your value. You were rich from the very beginning. You never really needed anybody to really have your back because source always had your back. Your ancestors had your back. Like, so the bullying and all of that other stuff, people just wanted to, somebody is a prayer warrior. You had to go through the fire to see, okay, to get to your throne, thinking that people had to have your back. So it's like you're not in the jungle, you're not in the wilderness, why people just set back and let you struggle. So it's like, telling lies, saying that you was lazy, you didn't do this and that, when really your divine feminine energy, everything was coming to you, including, you know, including the truth about some energies that said they would have your back. So yeah, your whole timeline is changing. So when your back is bothering you, your back, the moon is in Capricorn, and you start the emotional eating, the moon is in Capricorn. So that's what source is saying. That's number three right here. Three is in some kind of inspired action. The inspired action is, okay, maybe you're becoming spiritually dehydrated. Maybe you're carrying other people's emotions on your back and you need to flush it out. You need to flush that out and pour into you, right? So somebody definitely is highly spiritually gifted here. You've always been worthy. Somebody has always been worthy. You've always been inside your vault. Others have been on the outside. I know this sounds like a Twilight Zone episode, but for real, you've always known your worth and known your value. You just needed to learn how to rise above the judgment. But trust me, people were obsessed with judging you. Oh, you shouldn't want or think so highly of who, I don't know what people were saying anyway. So here we have what collective role are you being called to shift or let go of? Yeah. Here we have the King of Cups here. Somebody is either a good mentor or a good parent. Remember, all of this is genderless, right? So you're a good parent, a good mentor, a good such and such, a good friend. Somebody is just very wise. They've been very mature. You've been here before. Like somebody is just now figuring out that they've actually been here on planet Earth before. They've been here. You've traveled back through. Somebody had to come back through, and or it's almost like you had to complete a cycle. Somebody had to complete a karmic cycle. So in that regard, and I know you all have asked me from other videos on this. I may do it on the Patreon side, but this could be just clear enough where I don't even have to do it on Patreon. An ancestor of your or an elder may have transitioned into the judgment card and came back through you. They may have come back through your lens. They may have come back to see life through a different lens. So you may have had an ancestor or an elder in your family that transitioned who always knew their worth and their value, that life was supposed to be better for them, right? Life had to be much better for them, but they may have come back through you so that they can see it through your lens. You all could experience it together, if that makes any sense to somebody. So they can experience a life through your lens. When we talk about your ancestors, you're built strong enough that you were able to handle something. So now it's time for you to learn how to really pour into you. Somebody really wants you and somebody to see a much better life, a life that you deserve. You know how in the physical sense, Capricorns, and I'm talking about again 10th house. So no matter what your zodiac sign is, if you tuned into this, it's not by coincidence. In the physical sense, a lot of people's family, grandparents, and parents will say, I work this hard so that my kids don't have to get out of the mud, so they don't have to live the same life that I live, right? Well, this is in a spiritual sense. So a spirit ancestor had to come back through to say, they want you to experience the life that you deserve. In other words, the price has already been paid. The price has already been paid. Anybody who don't know it, they're on the outside of your vault door. Price has already been paid. That's why somebody has been feeling like they're by themselves coming through this earth, by themselves. You could be an only child, you could be the oldest. Something about your energy stands out. Something about your energy has always given star quality. It's always given North Node. It has always given, I know who I am. Yeah, something about your energy is just like, okay, something about you just kind of sort of stands out. And so people are having a tower moment. They're having a full awakening. Like this person, so it's like two energies are feeling like, okay, this energy has been here before, but you are having an awakening too. This is your Saturn return. You're returning back to where your kind of sort of where your family's roots are. That's what you're returning to. Returning back to where their family's roots are, right? So that you can heal, you can move on from past disappointments, past life disappointments. You won't even have to talk about it anymore. Your life, somebody's life is about to change. So here's a Four of Wands here. So get ready for some kind of a celebration. Some kind of celebration is happening for you. Somebody could have new and exuberant love in their life. You could have a new job, whatever. But Source wants you to experience the finer life, whoever you are, unapologetically. You won't even have to talk about past disappointments, heartbreaks. It's going for somebody. It's going to literally feel like it was a nightmare that you woke up from. Nine of Cups. It's going to feel like you hit the jackpot. Something is going to feel like you have hit the jackpot. Justice in your favor. Justice is in your favor. Yep. It felt like looking at your cards, whoever you are, we're talking about the 10th house. I feel like if this was an elder that came through previously, something that somebody may not have known is that they may have had siblings. This could be somebody's grandparents or great grandparents or great great grandparents, because they had to come back around many, many, many times. So whether you're sun or moon sign, something about you is really extremely patient and generous with your time when it comes to people, to a point where people may have thought you were being stubborn or like, okay, what is Capricorn not getting here? You may have even felt like you were, what am I not getting here? Um, but everything that this is like your wealth is coming back through, in a spiritual sense, many different generations. That's what this is. It's like generational wealth that's coming back through. Like in a spiritual sense, it's like generational wealth of a child who you can tell has been here before, right? All of this has something has been stored up for someone. All of something has been stored up for someone. But somebody's life is about to change for the much better in terms of your financial status. And guess what? So is your community about to change. So, and you initiated it how? Through being a prayer warrior. You prayed about it. It could have been something as simple as, this is why some energies kept trying to come back into certain people's lives. Some of your jobs wanted to stay connected to you. Some of your friends wanted to stay connected to you. Kept creating all these situations like, I got your back, I got your back. Because people knew something about you that you did not know. People knew something about you that you did not know. There's some money, a lot of money was coming across your path. Yours and somebody else's path. That's why energies are working so hard to keep you and somebody apart. Here's the Two of Swords here. So now somebody's going to start, instead of them listening to people in your ear, talking in your ear, somebody's getting ready to start really paying attention to your ancestors. So your ancestors were storing some stuff away for you, whoever you are, in the physical realm. in the physical realm. So again, your community wants you to thrive. You're learning how to see something from a higher frequency. Don't ever do something behind somebody's back who's always had yours. That's what you're starting to see. Somebody that loves you, who's always had your back. Yeah, somebody had to go through a karmic cycle because they did something behind someone's back that loved them and always had their back, and something came through the air. Something came out through the air. In other words, people were talking about it. All right. So there's Two of Swords and also Five of Swords here. Source is saying to you, you and somebody may have been blindsided by something where people are going to try to use your words against you. You don't even have to worry about it. Because not everybody talking negative about behind your back is saying something negative. Some people are speaking very highly of you behind your back because of the gifts that you carry, the spiritual gifts that you carry that you inherited. You inherited spiritual gifts. So some people are going to be talking about you behind your back because where's this coming? Somebody is now a part of a family, a spiritual family that really wants to see you thrive. Really wants to see you thrive. And they don't see you as competition at all. Just so we're crystal clear. Just so we're crystal clear. It's like working on a job where a person like, okay, we want Capricorn to come in with all this wisdom and knowledge. Why wouldn't we want them to thrive? Because we don't want them to be a weak link. We like the fact that Capricorn works really hard. Like what that wouldn't even make sense. That's lower vibration. People vibrating on a high frequency, they're like, oh no, door swung wide open. So you're not looking back. Somebody is an incubus spirit, whoever this is. Somebody secretly has a crush on you. Yeah, the angel of prophecy and wisdom is with you. Somebody is a changeling. You have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations, their emotions, moods, and feelings. Don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. First red flag, pray and meditate, and then be whatever source tells you to do. Somebody failed at stealing your identity. Somebody really wanted to be you. But something had to go all over the world before somebody realized, okay, wow, I know my worth and my value. Like, what am I doing? Throat chakra cleanse. In other words, so it's when somebody start praying, that's the first speaking up you're going to do is praying to source and meditating. Source, what do you want me to do? I need it to be so crystal clear that I'm not moving until I have a clear answer, right? I speak my truth with clarity and confidence. My voice matters. I communicate with honesty and compassion. I listen with patience and express with purpose, right? So throat chakra cleanse. So throat chakra cleanse connects us with so on Tuesday and Wednesday, that's the 17th and 18th of June, the moon will be moving into Pisces. That's your feet, toes, pineal gland. So again, you don't want to have to be driving down the street and your toes straighten out because you got a cramp in your foot or your toe to realize, oh, I'm dehydrated. Okay, I need to pray about something. Source needs me to get my feet moving because something is coming back up to my third eye and Source is trying to show me something that I'm not seeing. So I need to drink water. I need to be near water. I need to pour into myself. This is how your physical body is telling your source, spirit is telling you something from within that you deserve the best. So your body is telling you all these things over and over and over again. That's why somebody keeps having tower moments because they're not listening to their bodies. As soon as your body is telling you something, go into prayer. I don't care where you are. Source, what does this mean? Why does? But the first thing some people do is call up a practicing physician. You could do that, right? I'm not telling somebody not to, but I'm telling you the first healer you want to call on is source. Is okay, what does this mean? Why is something is affecting this part of me? What something is affecting this part of me, right? And then on we had the last quarter moon on Wednesday the 18th, and then on Thursday the moon will be moving into Aries, where it could affect your head, your teeth, your tongue, your arteries, And then that's on Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday and next Sunday, which will be the 22nd, it'll move into Taurus, right? That could affect your neck, your vocal cords, your throat, and thyroid gland. When we're talking about throat chakra cleanse. So source is saying you may be finally speaking up to some energies because your body is now starting to say, do something. First pray about. First pray about something and then ask source for clarity. Pray about it and ask source for clarity. What am I not seeing? What am I not seeing? Why am I having these body cramps? Why does my back hurt? Why? Somebody's gonna start like you're talking to someone within, right? Right? Back straight and walk away. You mean walking away from something. And Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice, is with you, right? But some kind of injustice was done to you to keep you and some energies apart, but your back is going to be straight and you're walking away from something. So, like I said, speaking your truth, you won't be looking back. Somebody has been here before. I told y'all going to end up being somebody's karma. Here we have some people. It's not just somebody, it's people's karma. Nourish your temple. This is 38. 3 and 8 is 11. 3 and 8 is 11. But yeah, your community wants you to thrive. You're trying to turn a page. Yeah, you're trying to turn a page. You're trying to turn a page. You're trying to turn a page. And so somebody just learning how to just quietly just move on. I mean, that's the main thing. It's like when you feel like you're in spaces where you feel like people don't know your worth and know your value, you just don't know how to just move on. That's just really the all in of it. You ain't gonna say nothing. You just gonna move on with your life. Sync with the moon. Sync with the moon. Two energies were trying to keep you attached to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and it could have just been energetically. It's something that's coming back around, right? Use your hands. Something about your energy, just knowing your worth and knowing your value, is just how you were, how the potter created you, right? Yeah, some energies just wanted to keep you focused. I mean, like keeping you connected to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So you're learning how to turn a page and hydrate yourselves. Something has come to an end. Something has come to an end. Again, your community wants you to thrive. The community wants you to thrive. So, I don't know who these two energies are. You have to pray about it. But stay in any community that wants you to thrive. But that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. See you in the next video. But yeah, I don't know who was trying to steal your identity in terms of your gifts, like your spirit. It looks like your spiritual gifts. Somebody could have been trying to steal your identity. And they may have felt like they hit the jackpot in terms of your gifts. Like, in other words, like somebody could have been around like energy vampires, just like really trying to steal your, wanting to be you, right? But so your ancestors had to come back around. Yeah, so you're finally getting ready to turn a page, and you're like I said, you're walking away from something. Yeah, you're walking away from something that has just been a nightmare for you, and somebody is clear as to who um cause some kind of cause some kind of blindsiding of you and someone else. I don't know who else somebody else is blindsided by something. Um and then who these energies also assassinated your character. These two energies assassinated your character. Possibly in physical or spiritual court. Remember, court is not always in the physical realm. It could be in a spiritual court. like assassinating your character, like talking about you behind your back, that kind of stuff, like saying little, stuff, little taking little digs or whatever, that kind of thing. But anyway, that is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, y'all asked for a bonus video because I'm gonna make sure this mic is still on, and it looks like it still is on. So if the other one kind of cut out, you may have to just kind of let it play for a minute because it may have popped back in. Sometime when I'm using the wireless mic, I'm gonna plug the other one in so that way, hopefully it's not too loud. I have to try to play with the volume a little bit. But anyway, you deserve the best. You deserve the best. That's what I'm saying for you in your cards. Hopefully this is helpful. This is a bonus. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.